podcast. This is, I don't know what hell episode this is, but happy Easter and happy Passover to those who are celebrating their individual holidays. And if you don't celebrate any of them, hope it's a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend for you. And yeah, we're recording this, mind you, on Easter/Passover. So if you're listening to this on any other day, I hope you are having a wonderful day, whether it is a week or weekend. And also, if you haven't noticed, if you're watching or if you're listening, I may sound slightly different. And it is because it is that special time of year, not Christmas, called allergy season. I am allergic to everything under the sun. That includes grass, dust, trees, tree bark, pollen, bees, animals, and any form of living thing outside of like most food. Though I am allergic to various types of food, like gluten and dairy. And yeah, I may just explode one day. Spontaneous combustion. But yes, that's why I may sound off to anyone who is listening, or I may cough, or I may voice crack because your boy is allergic to life. And it is tough out here.
You're not allergic to life. We're on a high pollen alert today in Florida, but it's a nice sunny day. It's going to hit 80. I've already went for a 1.5 mile walk on the beach, and now I'm with my bud doing the podcast, and I think this is going to be a good one. And from me to you, everybody, remember, try not to gain more than 10 pounds over the holidays.
Yeah, right. Problem is there's a holiday every other month. So
yeah.
But let's start it. We've got what we want to do today is talk music content. Everything for this episode is going to be very much music based. The first thing we want to discuss is do you want to do the artists to familiarize yourself, or you want to do the ones that need to leave? Which one did you want to start with?
I'll do the artists that need to leave.
Okay, so the first segment, shall we do, is him and I are going to go back and forth and talk about artists that we think should retire or stop making music or whatever, and our reasonings can follow said response. But I will let you go first.
Okay, my first artist makes me very, very, very sad that I have to put him on this list because he is or was a genius. I used to, in 2007, when he got married again, I used to go to an Italian restaurant with my wife, Dardanella, and I used to see Tony Bennett sitting with his new wife, having the best Italian food in Queens, New York, and always a gentleman, never disturbed them, let him eat in peace. He was, or he still might be, a fantastic painter. His paintings are all over the world if he tends to release them, because he's very private. I put him second behind Frank Sinatra. You know, they used to say he was a poor man Sinatra because his songs are very similar. But now I'm very sad because Tony Bennett is 95 years of age and he has Alzheimer's. And the last time, I think his wife said that he had dementia or Alzheimer's in 2016. And as recently as 2021, I saw him with Lady Gaga, and he was on the stage and he performed. But the problem was, he doesn't remember being there or what he sang.
Yeah.
So that makes me sad, and it brings me back to when my wife and I were at the Westbury Music Fair. We saw them. We saw Frank Sinatra Jr. have to walk Frank Sinatra off the stage because he couldn't remember the words. So
Right.
I think it's time for Tony to live out his years. He's contributed a lot to our culture.
Oh, go ahead.
Next person.
Oh, no, I wanted to add to that. Yeah,
Okay,
I agree. I kind of agree with you. I think it is time for him to sort of put the microphone down because man's what, 92?
95.
Um, oh, okay, all right, 95. Look, God bless him. Um, I think he's a wonderful artist, and I think he makes a lot of great content. Um, I think he's made a lot of great content over the years. At the same time, though, I do agree with you. I think performing, if we're talking large scale stuff like that, yeah, I think he should stop. But at the same time, if he still has the love for it and he's got enough memory to be like, no, I know some of it, or I want to still like participate, then I don't think we should force him to stop. I think maybe there's a way to accommodate both ends of it and allow him to either still perform or still participate in the music industry, because otherwise I would feel bad for a man who's devoted his whole life to music to then have it taken away from him. Yes, there's a certain degree of like, oh, he can't do it anymore, so why let him? Sure. But he deserves to not be just removed from the scene and spend his life sad, the last bits of his life sad because he can't involve himself with music. So, yes, I agree. I think he should still be involved though with music.
Let's see where his health goes. Um, the next one is Willie Nelson.
Okay.
Willie Nelson's 88 years old. He suffers from what is known as Lewy body dementia. He has emphysema and pneumonia. He's famous, for Honeysuckle Rose and Always on My Mind, those songs. And everybody loves Willie Nelson. I mean, I don't care if you don't like country music, everybody loves Willie Nelson. But going along with your venue, yeah, if he wants to perform, let him perform. But I think he is on the way out as far as being a top-notch performer. He's resting on his laurels.
Okay, that's fair. I have nothing really much to add to that. I kind of agree with you, and I yeah, yeah. What's your
Now,
next one?
my next one is Frankie Valli, who I love. Frankie Valli started out with Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, and he has so many hits. Sherry, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, Walk Like a Man. He's losing his hearing. He is a man of honor. One of his deceased former Four Seasons put him almost $1 million in debt, and he paid off his debt. And he's a very good entertainer. He was just entertaining by us in Florida, and he always has a new group of young men behind him, which offshoot his ability to sing. But he has that unusual voice. It's just, you see that wrinkled up man on the stage, and he's not very big as it is.
Yeah, he's like what, 5 something, 5'4"?
Yeah, maybe 5'7", maybe 5'6" with heels. Can't tell these days. But Jersey Boys, the show, really put him back in the picture, and he's really
He's 5'5", by the way.
okay. He's really juicing it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
There's so many Jersey Boys all over the country that are performing. So, but he's 87 years of age, and I think it's time, maybe. I don't know. A lot of the older generation still love him. I love him. I listen to his music a few times a week on Alexa. But that's the young Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so far the ones you've listed are pretty solid in that, like, they're in their 80s and their 90s, and they're sort of just they've made their circuit so many times that it's time to put the microphone down. If you're not going to bring new stuff to the table, and granted, not that you can't bring new stuff to the table at 80 because you can. Tony Bennett's a perfect example. But if you're singing the same songs you sang when you were 20 and you're still doing those circuits, it's enough. It's enough. You're good. We get it. We have the younger versions of you, which are better. Please put it down. If that's all you're doing is just singing the same songs, please God, put the microphone down.
Yeah, like I always used to do with you, because we share our music. You show me the modern videos, and I have sent you or showed you videos of Frankie Valli on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you showed me a bunch, and I know tons of the Four Seasons music, and I listened to a lot of it, and we watched the documentaries, and I know tons of stuff on them. But it's
I like to listen to that. I like to listen to like you said, the young Frankie Valli.
Right. Well, and that's because that's when it was meant to be sung. The problem when you have artists that revisit content that they made years back, and they have to like fix it, or that's like what's his name? Is it Aerosmith? Tyler Perry? Steven Tyler Perry? No.
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler. I'm thinking Steven Tyler Perry is a different person.
Yeah.
But Steven Tyler, for example, he can't hit those notes anymore. He can't and so I don't need to hear him attempt to scratch the notes out 20, 30 years later or 15 years later. Leave it. Let it be. That's why you recorded it. The reason you recorded it is so that we can listen to it 10 years later. Yeah. Don't redo it live if you can't do it. Even if you can do it, at a certain point, let it go. Because that's your cue to make new music that benefits your life now.
Yeah, the biggest joke, it's not a joke, but because I really liked, I can't remember the group, the group or the singer who sings Teenager in Love. You get up there and you're 67 years of age and you're singing your hit, I Want to Be a Teenager in Love.
You talking about the Belmonts?
Yeah, Dion and the Belmonts.
Dion and the Belmonts, yeah.
Yeah. So
Ernie Maresca, Freddie Cannon.
Yeah. So you got to let things pass, and remember, things in the past are things in the past. My next group, it's a group. I never liked, but I'm appreciating them as to the longevity. I just couldn't look at them. Oh, wait,
let me pause real quick, super quick. The people from the Belmonts was Angelo D'Elio, Carlo Mastrangelo, and Fred Milano. Not the other Cannon guys. Those are the three.
And Dion.
Right, exactly, and Dion.
So the group that I never liked when I was younger, but I appreciate their longevity. The two main people in the group, they either haven't died or are still in the group, or Sir Mick Jagger.
He's been knighted, yes.
Yes, he's 79 years of age. And Keith Richard, he's 79. And I always used to refer to them as the Walking Dead. And now there's a series that I watch, The Walking Dead. I always expect them to be on that show one of these days. I mean, you look at them, especially Keith Richards. He looks like he died a few times and he's still playing that great guitar, And Keith Richards moves in sections, when he's up there. But you know what? The women still like him, and the younger generation still like him. So I guess he falls into that category that you said. As long as you can entertain and you enjoy it, and people are going to come watch you and enjoy it, continue. But I can't look at them. I just cannot look at them.
Right. Well, and that's why it's such a difficult thing, because you devote your life to music, and then people just want to take the microphone from you. And I get it. I understand that's It's your life. You devoted it, and if it's what you want to do, you're an adult. Like, do it. At the same
Mhm.
time, you know, you can only sing "I Love You, Baby" by Frankie Valli so many times.
Yeah.
Like, you
Or I
know,
could say, I love you, baby. And if it's quite all right, I need you, baby. Right? You know, right?
but yeah, I mean, it's just yeah.
I
Anyways,
agree.
go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. You don't like my voice?
No, I'm saying like I'm agreeing with you, and I love your voice.
Okay. You're the one person who does. Okay. Um, you want to go? Can I go on to the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, the next one is one of my old time favorites. Started off as Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, uh, but now he's retired, he's rich. Uh, he's Smokey Robinson,
Yeah,
82 years of age. He's worth about $150 million. Uh, you know, he had great songs like "You Got a Hold on Me," "Cruising," "The Tears of a Clown." He uh, wrote. He's a writer, a director, a producer. He's very, very, very prominent in the field of music. But when he goes on the stage, it looks like he has so much cosmetic surgery. I'm afraid one day he's gonna hit a high note and his face is gonna explode. You know, if I'm wrong about the cosmetic surgery, Smokey, I'm sorry. I apologize.
he's gonna
But
show up at your front door.
that's right. I think he lives in Florida, by the way. Uh, but he was great. But his music, same songs over and over again,
Right.
and get the older generation loves it. One of the worst things I never enjoyed um, in recent years when I would watch him again. I mean, I'm a culprit. I used to go to his concerts, uh, even in the latter years, is when older people get up from their seats and they start dancing to his songs, and I'm watching body parts go in different directions. And God bless him. I mean, I'm an older person, but God bless him. It took away from the concert, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's time for him just to do directorial or things like that
Right. Right. Right.
type of work. At 82, he's 82 years of age.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's that time.
Hmm. Now somebody's going to contact us and say we're picking on the elderly, I think.
Well, you are because mine are quite young.
Oh, okay. Uh, next one is Madonna. I think Madonna should stop dressing and performing like a 20-year-old. She's grandmother. She's no longer the material girl. 63 years of age. Still puts on a decent show, I hear. But that's all I got to say about her. I never had much to say about Madonna. Uh, so I just wanted to mention her. You have anything to say about her?
Not much. I agree. She.
Yeah,
Yep.
no.
Yep.
Okay. I hear that Kiss is going to retire after this year, or they retired after the end of last year.
Yeah. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of them jumping around with the paint on their face, with his long tongue sticking out. What's his name?
Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons. It's played out. They started in 1973. It's 49 years ago. It's just played out, but yet a lot of people like him. And again, he has something working for him. He puts paint on his face. So
Yeah,
you
there's
can't.
a form of theatrics that he brings to the table that some of these artists don't bring. Someone like Tony Bennett, who may just stand on a stage in a suit and sing, you've got someone like Gene Simmons, who's a completely different genre and is very difficult to compare, obviously. But Gene Simmons brings fireworks and face paint and guitars and head swinging and tongue and all this other stuff that is a form of theatrics to add to the show. So yeah.
And there's another group, but I can't say this is even the original group because I don't think anybody remains from the original group. But their music is so good, and they replaced their original singers with new singers. I don't think Brian Wilson is still in there. He might be, unless he had another nervous breakdown. The Beach Boys. They started in 1961, and they're still going strong all over the country. But it's not the original Beach Boys. But their music has carried decades and decades and decades. And although I'm not a California boy, I never liked California music. It's very good. And Brian Wilson is, if he still has his mind, a genius and was a genius. So whatever music he's done is worth listening to.
Yeah.
Any comment?
Not much. I can agree to that because it's the Beach Boys. Again, it's very much that type of content where it's like they're just singing the same stuff, and it's over. It's time for them to put the mic down.
Yeah, and the last one you're going to get a kick out of, and I bet nobody ever heard of them. Nobody. If you ever heard of them, write in or give a comment. The oldest group in history. I'm going to say it again. The oldest group in history is the Japanese group formed in 2008 called the Golden Senior Trio. It's made up of Nasasuke Miyatomoto. He plays the bass. He's 78 years of age. Sencho Atsuka. He plays the piano. He's 81. And Nayatera Nabashima. He plays the vibraphone. He's 89. They're a Japanese group. And unless somebody died, and I don't know of it, I looked it up. I think they are the oldest traveling group in history, I think. So
okay.
I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's fair.
Japanese group. Yeah.
I don't know them enough, so I can't really comment on them. But that's fair.
You don't listen to them?
Oh yeah, there are a poster of them on my wall.
Okay, I'm finished.
All right. I've only got 5, and mine will be pretty brief because I don't have like crazy explanations for them. My first person that I think should stop or at least change professions is Drake. I don't think Drake has made quality music in years. And on top of that, his people have on multiple occasions showcased that this man goes after underage women, one being Millie Bobby Brown. He developed a relationship with her when she was like 16 and 15. And it's just the man already makes me uncomfortable. On top of that, his music hasn't been good in years. So yeah, I think he should just either change professions or stop making music if he hasn't already. Because I haven't seen him come out with any music in the recent, prior to the pandemic, but we also can't, it's very hard to discuss things in general because you can't look at most people who make content like music, movies and stuff because of the pandemic. It's like the blip in Marvel. It's like a 5-year gap. You can't really discuss it because I didn't expect people to come out with the best album during the pandemic. Some did, good for you, but I don't expect that out of people. So it's hard. But nonetheless, Drake. Number 2, MGK. Is MGK, Megan Fox's husband / boyfriend. I don't know if they're married. Yes, husband. Yeah, I think
I know who it is. The one with the
he's
blonde hair.
blonde hair and a bunch of
Yeah.
tattoos and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he seems like he's cool. Like he seems like he's got some cool ideas or whatever, but his music is just garbage. It's so bad. He went from whatever he went from to rap, and then Eminem absolutely plastered him, and then he changed genres because Eminem completely disrupted his entire existence. And then he's now doing like alt rock stuff, and it's just bad. Um,
But he
yeah,
got
I think he either needs to change into some like maybe he's just a ghostwriter, maybe he is a sound
Mhm.
producer, but I don't think he should be making music anymore. Like
Do you
it's
think? Do you think you should send Megan Fox over to your house?
no, because I have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
I would much rather
Okay.
take my wonderful girlfriend over Megan Fox. Megan Fox is a very attractive woman, but doesn't compete. Um,
Okay.
Number three, you can have Megan Fox. Go ahead. I'll send her your house.
Send it to my house. I don't know what I
There
do
you
with it,
go.
but send it to my house.
There you go.
Yeah.
My third one is Maroon 5.
Oh.
Yes. And this is a
Yeah.
difficult one because Maroon 5, and I've said this before, and I don't even think it's like the original band at this point. I think it's just Adam Levine. Because I think as of today, in today's current standard, I think he's the last original band member. But I do have to admit, the man has consistently found music and sounds that hit popular charts, that still chart. I mean, he's been doing this for 20 something years. He's been making new content and he's pivoted the sound of the band to a way that has continued to be popular in the youth. It's very, very commendable. Very commendable. I think his time is up. I think his time in terms of pivoting and creating is getting stale because there still has to be a core sound that he follows or a core idea of how the music should go. And yeah, I think it's I think we've hit a peak with someone like Maroon 5 where the music that's going to come out from here on out is going to be okay at best. It's going to be music that sounds good, it'll chart, but it's not going to be like the summer's best hit. It's just sort of going to fall by the wayside. And if he wants to keep going, go for it. But I think it'd be better to end on a high. Like I would argue he peaked in his he already peaked. And this album that came out is already dipping. So that's why I would argue Maroon 5 should either stop or work towards shifting towards something else.
You see, I can't evaluate him because I only listen to his old stuff, and I like his.
Well,
old
right, but
stuff.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You only listen to his old stuff because his old stuff is
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And
like
yeah, I would
like him and Train. I only listen to Train's old stuff. I don't know
right.
anything that Train's doing now.
And I would say, for me personally, what really marked a transitionary period, was when he came out with Payphone. I don't remember what year that came out, but Payphone was like the year where I was like, oh, he's really shifting the sound. And he came out with a couple of songs after that that I was really into, but Payphone was when it really hit that I was like, oh, yeah, this is really poppy. And it's like really pop culture, and it feels like he threw all originality to the wayside. And I was proven wrong by a couple of songs after that, but for the most part, I think I was right. So that's why I would say, yeah. Number 4, Eminem. Eminem. The man is a very, very, very talented lyricist and a very talented man in general. His recent stunts and things that have been going on has shown that he's very out of touch with his surroundings. And I'd rather him never make another album again and recognize that his music was great, then watch him plummet. And I think that's what'll happen is if he makes another album or if he makes more music, I think it's going to plummet. And I think it's going to become more and more dissonant to what's around him. And people are going to start hating and it's going to become an issue. So that's why I think Eminem should stop and whatever, just stop, retire. Last one is.
Excuse me, with Eminem, I think most people, even like myself, and I don't like rap, but I like his music. I listened to his original album. That was a hit. Nothing else.
Yeah, well, but that's my point. Is
Yeah,
he's a very, very good artist in all shapes and forms. But I
yeah.
think his recent stuff has like stunts and stuff with Trump and the Super Bowl and all this stuff that's been.
Yeah.
I think it's it very much shows he is not aware of his surroundings as much, and therefore his content will suffer because his content is based on sociopolitical stuff that is occurring in this current moment, and I think he's just too far removed. So I think he should retire. My last one, Lady Gaga. Now, I'm gonna put a hold on. I'm gonna put a. This is not. I don't want her to retire. I would like her to transition to a different genre. I think she should not make another pop album ever again. I think she should 1000% transition to supper club and jazz music, like she did with Tony Bennett, because I used to listen to Lady Gaga growing up when I was a kid in high school and middle school. I loved all of her pop songs, but her jazz music is extraordinary. Her with Tony Bennett is beautiful. And I would absolutely buy every single song that she came out with, if she were to make a jazz album with pop artists. So if it was her, she transitions to jazz and then from there does featured songs, Justin Bieber, Olivia Rodrigo, Billie Eilish, whoever. But yes, so I would like her to retire from pop, and I would very much like her to continue with a jazz platform because I think she does beautifully with that.
Yeah, she's a big talent. I guess it's all subject to what you like.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's well, I mean, granted, that's what this whole thing is, anyways. It's subject to what we like. So
the difference between what my list and your list is, my lists are old. Your lists are young performers,
well, and also
yeah.
The difference is also that the artist that I'm talking about could very well become the artist that you're talking about.
That's
singing
correct.
The same songs, but it's going to take 30, 40 years for me to get there. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. So, all right, let's go to the next stop. Oh, let me amend something I said in the last podcast where we talked about Will Smith real quick. I totally forgot. I wanted to amend this. I said something, I was discussing about how people like Weinstein and Polanski and others have not been expelled, but Will Smith was expelled. They were expelled. They were 100% expelled from the academy. I just wanted to amend that statement because it was specifically used to prove a point that I was talking about, and I didn't want to get that wrong. And also just to update, Will Smith has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years. So that's not necessarily a bad thing either, because now he doesn't have to spend 4 hours at a who's got a bigger dick contest. So
that's
good
correct.
for him.
I agree.
Anyways, let's go to our top 5 artists that we want to familiarize our audience with if you haven't heard of them. So that's let me word that better. 5 artists that you may not have heard of that we would like to showcase for you.
Okay. Mine is a varied group.
Okay.
A lot of them are dead. So you have to go for their music, either, on one of the music apps. The first one I'm going to start off with is one that he's one of my favorite, and he was on one of our original podcasts, Music to Get You in the Mood. I just love James Ingram. and he started off as a musician, and in the 90s, he was kind of prominent, had hits. Someone Like You, Let Me Love You, A Baby's Born. His album, The Greatest Hits of 1991, Just Once, is a song that a lot of people copy. Baby Come to Me, and Where Did My Heart Go? I think that he's one of those artists that really very few people are familiar with.
Okay.
And I think would be rewarding to become familiar with it.
What's his genre?
What would you call love songs?
Okay, so
Like
almost
you
like
made, like you did, love me, let me love you. What you went like that. Remember?
is it love songs on the scale of like Sinatra, where it's slow and it's sort
Yeah,
of
slow, very slow.
okay, so good. Okay, so for anyone with that concept, sure.
My wife loved him. I mean, anytime I put him on, when I worked in an area that was predominantly what do you call them, Afro-American?
Black.
Black.
Because they're not all
Okay.
from Africa, so it's black.
Okay. Well, and there weren't apps in the 1990s per se, to get your music. And I had his collection. He, along with the next person, the women I work with would say, could I borrow your recording? Could I borrow your recording? I'm gonna have a party. Could I please borrow it? Could I make a copy of it? I mean, that's how good he is.
Yeah.
I think you should play it. I think it's held up. Its quality is held up.
Okay.
The second person is Arthur Prysock. He talks a lot of his songs, and his albums were very hard to find. He was like another artist that historians would know. He was like Billy Eckstine, who was a favorite jazz and singer. He has a very deep voice, and he would sing in the Still of the Night, Autumn in New York, Blue Velvet, and one of his favorite albums was A Guy's in Love with You. It was jazz in 1987. Rainy Night in Georgia, which is really a really prominent song. Again, from the album This Guy's in Love with You, and a song that many people have copied, At Last. You've heard the song At Last?
Yeah.
Okay. So he passed. A treasure. But again, a lot of people don't go into black singers, like Billie Holiday and Etta Fitzgerald, and Arthur Prysock just isn't as well known by many generations as they are. I mean, Ella Fitzgerald used to be considered by Frank Sinatra to have the best set of pipes in the business. So,
And I'll agree with him on that, because I took a whole jazz course at college because I had some free elective and I wanted to learn more about jazz. I spent the entire semester listening to jazz music. I agree, 100%. Anyone who doesn't know Ella Fitzgerald, oh my God, yeah, absolutely.
And so Arthur Prysock, a lot of love songs, a lot of talking, a lot of singing, but I like his jazz albums. His jazz albums are really, really good. They've gone through the test of time.
Okay.
The third one, he didn't have much longevity, but he was really cute. He was with the rock and roll. Frankie Lymon, he came out with Frankie Lymon, I think, in the teenagers. 1998, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Why do fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? and Little Bitty Pretty One, Goody Goody. Unfortunately, I think he had a problem with drugs and he died at an early age. But little Frankie Lymon at age 13 was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. He was cute, had a great voice. And I think if you put his music on now, you would enjoy it. You know, he doesn't have a whole repertoire of music, but he's damn good. Maybe you'll enjoy it. You should try it. Listen.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check those out. So,
Yeah.
what else?
I
You
have
got?
two more.
Go ahead.
Part of my favorites, and I'm sorry, I was sitting behind him in a Florida concert a few years ago with my wife, and he was with his family evidently. Johnny Maestro and the Brooklyn Bridge was the group, and he was the lead singer who sang a cappella, and fantastic voice. Life is but a dream. If I could take you back in paradise, you know. But he would sing, you know.
Yeah.
Or I saw her crying in the chapel. So fine, so fine.
Yeah, I know these songs.
Pardon my voice. And the one I always loved, I used to sometimes sing to your grandmother, I only have eyes for you. And I sent you a text that you should look up the song and sing it to your girlfriend because she would love it. It's not too corny. I only have eyes for you. Okay?
I mean, you kind of went against that statement with Megan Fox earlier, but we'll let it slide.
Okay. But I only have eyes for you. And then you could follow up with So Fine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear crying in the chapel after that.
Of course not. Of course not.
Okay. And my last one, he's still entertaining. He's one of my favorite singers. What a voice. Handsome man, fabulous voice, can do opera, can do show tunes. He's been on the London stage in the highest venues. He's, I think, performed in front of the Queen. I have many of his albums, and nobody knows about him in the United States that I know of. Michael Ball. Michael Ball, he was very famous for, like I said, being on the London stage, yet he could sing any genre, any genre. My favorite easy listening songs of his are I Dreamed a Dream. You know where that came from, right?
I know where that came from.
Love Changes Everything. All I Ask of You. And my favorite album, second favorite album, is Center Stage 2001, where every story, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And The Winner Takes It All. He has a voice, and where Sinatra used to sing verse, he sings verse with a voice. Sinatra's voice, I would rate, and I love Sinatra of everything he ever done, anything he's ever done. Sinatra's voice, I consider a 5. I consider Michael Ball, Ball, a 10.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's it. I've gone through different genres here.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think yours are all pretty good. I think mine are going to be very, very different. My first one, which I'd say my first 3 are honestly not like super, they're not like super unknown people. They're pretty moderate people that I think a decent amount of people know about, but I still want to bring them up because I don't think they're not as big as someone like Bieber or Drake or Maroon 5, but they're still pretty big. So the first one is Easy Life. They are an English alternative indie band. I found them on accident while playing Fortnite with some friends. There was a concert in the game that went on, and I was listening to and you can join this virtual concert, and hang out and listen to music. And I got interested in the music. It was pretty good.
What kind of
Yeah,
music?
it's considered alternative indie, which is the term alternative is very, very broad. So it's I don't know how to explain it. It's alternative
okay.
music. It's a
Yeah,
band. They're a band. It's a group. It's not just like one or two guys or a trio singing a cappella. It's a band. It's a group.
okay.
They've got sort of a pop sound to them, but they use instruments in a whole ass band. It's not like Bieber. Um, they're yeah, that's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah, I
writing these
think
down. I'm writing these
what?
down because
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
because I
by the
know
way,
wow.
for anyone who watches this on YouTube, I will put in the description below the 5 names that he put and the 5 names that I am going to put in for the music that you should familiarize yourself with. And if they have links to YouTube channels, I may link them. We'll see. But if you're listening on whatever, just rewind it. Sorry, can't help you there. I'm not putting it in the I don't think I can. I might see if I can put it in the description.
Well,
I don't know if I
you're
can.
the
We'll
techie.
see.
You got to figure
We'll see.
it out.
If not, if I can't put it in the description of both, I will just tell you to rewind it. So, anyways, this
Remember
second
that,
one,
Peter.
what?
Remember, you're the techie.
Yeah, I know,
And
but
I'm the
I can't rewind it for them unless I were to cut out that moment and just replay it at the end. So,
Yeah, I have nothing to do with that because I'm the sex symbol.
right, exactly. I'm just the guy working the strings, and you're the
That's right.
almighty Oz, and I'm the guy behind the curtain.
That's right.
So,
I
my
like
second
that.
one is a jazz band that I I listen to a lot of jazz, and I like to discover new forms of jazz. I'm not a huge fan of free form jazz, but I also don't like super constructed jazz, very traditional. So I'm very open, but free form is where it's difficult for me to recognize the genius when it's there. Lawrence, that's the name, Lawrence. Extraordinary vocals out of the lead singer. She is absolutely crazy. Uh, I my acting teacher actually right now, he knows her, and I remember he brought her up in class at one point. He's like, "Oh, I don't know if you guys know this artist." I was losing it because I was like, "Oh my gosh, he knows her." Extraordinary, extraordinary vocals for anyone who appreciates um just a real sense of jazzy tone. Oh my God, Lawrence. Absolutely. And it's nuts because they're like white, but nonetheless, crazy, crazy vocals. My next one is the Oh Hellos. It's the O-O-H
Say that again?
Hellos. The Oh Hellos.
The Oh Hellos. Okay.
They are a folk band that I would put on level with something like the Lumineers. And maybe like original Mumford and Sons, original old stuff when they really sounded like they were coming out of the woods and they didn't sell their soul to the pop devil. The Oh Hellos very much are known, but they're not like a super small group like the other two, but they're small
Okay.
enough where I know a lot of people who don't know them or know one song from them because it was on TikTok. But their music gives you very much Lord of the Rings, like you're on a journey to go put the ring in Mordor vibe sort of feel. I love it. I love their music. It's a nice folk journeyman type music. Number 5, or sorry, 4, is this band that I just recently discovered called, I'm gonna butcher this, Otyken, Otyken, Otyken. They are a Siberian Aborigine group that uses traditional instruments. I have found my enjoyment in a lot of recently I've discovered that I like types of, I don't know if you consider it tribal, but it's sort of music that involves a deep bass that follows underneath, and it's almost chanting almost, and it's trance like music. I love it. I love it. I listen to Viking type music that sounds like that. This is another group, um, and it just sounds cool. It sounds
Mhm.
neat as hell, and I plan on like researching their translations on what they're actually saying because I only recently discovered them like last week. So yeah, I'd recommend that. My last one is a guy named Ezra Glatt. He, I found him because of TikTok. I was scrolling and this guy showed up and it's just him and his guitar. He's got one song and it's really, really pretty. It's very beautiful. It's a folk type song. Um, it's stunning. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's emotional, and it's valuable. So I would very much recommend him or just his one fucking song. I have one bonus one, and this is kind of a joke, but I also need to let other people in the world know about it. A guy named Brian Robert Jones. I don't know if he's made any other songs, but he made a song called "Shit on My Ass." That's the song. It's called "Shit on My Ass," and he
Oh my
sings
God.
about shit on his ass. If you listen to nothing else, please look up Brian Robert Jones "Shit on My Ass." It's it's a glorious day to listen to that song. And that's it. That's all I've got for you. So
Oh, well, that's a pretty shitty way to end
that's
this
great. That's
broadcast.
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will make sure to um put the ones that we wanted to familiarize people with in the description. I will try to put that in the, if you're listening on anything other than YouTube, I will try to put that in the description. I don't know if I can. We shall see. Um yeah, like, follow, subscribe, share to your mother, share to your grandpa, share to your cousins. Tell them if they're bored and they want to listen to a podcast, pop us on,
Yeah.
and by all means send us, you know, comment on the YouTube or answer the Spotify question. I think you can answer those questions. And by all means, like, if there's ideas or content that you want us to discuss or participate in, please, it would be
Yeah.
much appreciated.
Because I notice our our views on YouTube are down, but they're up on Spotify, and we've gone over 2,000 views on TikTok
That's
recently.
right, we do have over 2,000 views on TikTok.
Yeah. So we're kind of spread out, and hopefully more people will start watching us on YouTube. At this point, I don't think I am going to inform my friends on posting of new videos because now it's up to them if they enjoy our videos to look it up themselves.
Understandably, but yeah, by all means, if yeah, share it to everyone and anyone that you feel would enjoy this. YouTube is definitely a place to leave comments so that we can respond to them in the next episode or directly. Um, or if you know me, then you can just message me and I can always respond, you know. But either way, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. If you're listening to this the day after Easter on Monday, I hope you had a wonderful Easter or Passover. And if you're listening to it any other day outside of that, I hope you have a wonderful day in general.
Yeah, and be well and value your family.
Yeah, very much. Peace out.